5 months later, in April 2019, the Foundation Football is More has kept its promise and is back in Laos to review the sustainability of the Laos Football Project for Education and Integration. This time, they are here with the whole FIM family. Introducing
Lukas Kapesberger, Project Manager, Football is More Foundation.
Ellie Crabb, Disability Coordinator, Chelsea FC Foundation.
Andy Rose, Disability Inclusion Senior Officer, Chelsea FC Foundation.
Alois Kessler, President of the Football is More Foundation.
the young coaches received and welcomed the coaches in charge along with Alois Kessler from the Football is More team.
Als wir hier ankamen und aus dem Bus ausgestiegen sind, sind wir so herzlich empfangen worden. Da hat es sich plötzlich angefühlt, dass man im fremden Land plötzlich wieder zu Hause ist.
As every time we seem to come here and it just, the welcome is so warm. They're so pleased to see you again. It's like coming back and seeing old friends.
Day one begins once again on the premises of the Laotian Football Association. President Alois Kessler and Coach Andy say some opening remarks to kick off the event.
Thank you once again for welcoming me and my wonderful team to your beautiful country. The next few days are for you to come back here, to share your experiences as coaches, to learn some small information from us in 4 days, but for us to get the chance to see you again and see how you've developed as young coaches. Let's get started. We've had enough talking. What's the problem with the tables? Huh? Come on, up! Up!
Andy has the young Laotians form groups again, like they did 5 months ago, with the goal of getting the young coaches back into the right frame of mind. FIM shows a video of the first joint project in November 2018 to the young coaches. 5 months ago, FIM ran the first phase of the project, Laos Education and Integration through Football, in the country's capital, Vientiane. The aim has been and continues to be to enable unprivileged children through the joy of football to have better education and health, as well as to be more integrated and involved in their community. With that goal in mind, FIM has trained 40 Lao young coaches from different regions of the country in a 4-day intensive course. Upon completion of the project, the young coaches passed on what they had learned to their own students and players, between 25 and 40 students per young coach. In the end, more than 1,000 children and adolescents have the potential to benefit from this peer-to-peer training. That number will only continue to grow once the young coaches teach what they have learned to other friends and families as well.
Football is more!
The important thing today was to get their mindset back to where we were in November. The video was a great way to remind them of everything they had done in that first week. You know, it really captured every day.
While discussing the happenings of the last few months, some of the young coaches decided to give a small impromptu presentation on how they have been applying what they learned in training over the last 5 months. One of the young coaches actually founded a football academy with the aim of keeping kids interested and engaged in the long term so as to spur on their further development.
เขาเปิดเริ่มเตะวันเดือน12ปี2018แต่ว่าเขาผ่านมานี่ประมาณ 4-5 เดือนแล้วเจ้าและเขาเปิดอยู่โรงเรียนศรีประเสริฐเป็นโรงเรียนที่ว่าน้อยๆและเริ่มต้นเขามีนักเรียนอยู่7คนเจ้าและถึงปัจจุบันนี้ประมาณ4 เดือนละ 4-5 เดือนถือว่านักเรียนประมาณเกือบ40เกือบ50 คนเจ้าเขาสิกล้าแสดงบ่และเห็นเป็นแล้ว
It's amazing to see one of our coaches that have been on the journey with us going out there and training young kids with knowledge. And that's fantastic, you know, we couldn't have asked for more than that.
Was mich hier am meisten erfreut, ist die Tatsache, dass einer unserer Coaches hier etwas auf die Beine gestellt hat, das die Sprache von FIM trägt. Er hat nämlich an freien Tagen als Lehrer Kinder eingeladen aus der ganzen Nachbarschaft. Die dürfen hierher kommen, Fußball spielen, werden angelernt, wie man Fußball spielt. Und ich glaube, die Freude, die man hört, die beweist, dass er auf dem richtigen Weg ist. Und wenn man dann die Eltern noch sieht, dann muss ich sagen, was wollen wir mehr?
As a coach, you never stop learning. And that's why the coaches Andy, Ali and Lucas are back in Laos to teach the young Laotians new training tactics, both theoretical and practical.
Last time we visited, we did lots of smaller drills around technique and how they move. Now we're looking at how they can coach children whilst they are playing a game. So we're looking at different rules, we're looking at creating zones that helps them understand the game more.
In the afternoon, the young coaches are given the opportunity to implement the new tactics they have learned. For this purpose, the Laotian Football Association has invited 100 children to being trained by the young coaches. Just like 5 months ago, it is through football that the children get to experience their community, as well as a feeling of success that really strengthens their self-confidence. It's obvious that these events are well received by everyone.
Mir ist ganz wichtig, auch das Feedback von denen einzuholen. Deshalb frage ich immer, wie es gelaufen ist, ob sie Fragen haben, ob sie es verstanden haben. Und die machen wirklich super mit, passen es an, denken meistens schon einen Schritt nach vorne. Also wirklich super.
We were very impressed with what we saw out on the pitch.
Following the successful training, they all discussed the 3 days to come. The Lao Football Association has selected 3 schools whose students are to be trained by the young coaches. The Laotians are really excited that they will get the chance to pass on both their newly learned knowledge as well as everything they learned 5 months ago.
The next 2 days, I expect the team to kind of blow us away again with the way that they're going to engage with children from schools that they may never have met before. It's going to be a challenge for them, that's for sure, but we're really confident that they're going to do a fantastic job.
Day 2 starts at Bungkuet Elementary School. The young coaches have prepared very well for the kids' training, and when Alois Kessler and the coaches arrive, the session has already started. The FIM team watches with excitement as the young coaches implement their newly acquired knowledge.
That's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
That's your work.
It's the team's work.
The young coaches and the children are motivated and ready to go. They start off with a short warm-up. Then it's time for tactical training. The kids are very eager to get on the field and put into practice what the young coaches have taught them.
The techniques that we taught them yesterday, it's more about how you interrupt a game and how you coach within the game. We didn't think for 1 minute that they would start using that technique straight away, but we've turned up today, the coaches have set everything out and they're using that technique and it's absolutely fantastic.
ความรู้ที่ว่าคอยได้เรียนมาในปีกายแล้วนี้เนาะคอยมาถ่ายทอดในครั้งนี้ให้ดีที่สุดและที่สิเอาบทเรียนนี้ไปซอยปรับปรุงตัวเองเนาะในครั้งต่อไปขอขอบใจ
Alois Kessler and the young coaches are thrilled about the children's enthusiasm as well as that of the young coaches, especially considering the high temperatures they are playing in and the poor shape of the football field itself.
Einen besseren Beweis, dass unser Programm vom letzten November gefruchtet hat, als das hier zu sehen, gibt es gar nicht. Und was wir hier sehen, das bestätigt uns in jedem Punkt.
Alois Kessler and the young coaches are thrilled. And after a warm farewell, it's time to head to the next school. Nak Sai Tong. It's only a 30-minute bus ride away from Bungkuet Elementary. Things go off without a hitch here as well. Some of the parents even showed up and are now watching with excitement.
ผู้ถือหลายๆที่ลูกได้มีโอกาสมาฝึกฟุตบอลเด็กสมอมีความภูมิใจและก็ดีใจที่ว่าเด็กน้อยลูกหลานที่ว่าได้รับโครงการที่ว่ามีกิจกรรมมาซอยเหลือก็ขอฝากฝังกิจกรรมนี้กับ เพื่อเฮ็ดให้เขาเจ้ามีสุขภาพและก็อนาคตที่สดใสขึ้น
All parties involved are clearly enthusiastic about the event. Unfortunately and unexpectedly, it starts to storm, and Coach Andy has to call an early end to the day's training session.
Im Schulhaus hat es plötzlich geblitzt und gedonnert während des Trainings. Der Programmmanager Andy Rose hat sofort das Training abgebrochen und hat die jungen Coaches zusammengenommen. Er hat ihnen aufgezeigt, dass die Sicherheit der Kinder das Wichtigste ist. Das war etwas Wunderbares. Wir haben es nicht eingeplant, es ist Gott sei Dank so gekommen.
Andy explains to the young coaches that no matter how well the training is going and how much fun the students are having, their safety always comes first. Despite having to end early, the day was a total success. After a heartfelt farewell, the young coaches leave in order to prepare for the following day. On day 3, the young coaches hold their training at Tadang School. Like on the previous days, all students are looking forward to the event. But today is not going to be easy. It's unbearably hot. Nevertheless, the participants are highly motivated and do complete the session, despite the difficult circumstances. The young coaches make sure the children get frequent breaks, constantly checking in to make sure everyone is doing okay.
Die Young Coaches machen einen fantastischen Job. Die Kinder haben so viel Spaß und man sieht einfach, dass man gar nicht viel braucht zum Fußballspielen und so viel Spaß haben. Und das ist fantastisch, wie die das hier machen. Das ist wirklich überragend. Wir haben vorher gemessen, im Schatten waren es 39 Grad, aber die machen das gut, die Coaches. Viel Pausen mit Wasser trinken, dann geht es gut. Ich könnte wahrscheinlich nicht Fußball spielen bei der Hitze.
นั่นแหละโดยการที่ว่าให้น้ำแกนเด็กน้อยนักเรียนที่ว่ามันได้ดื่มน้ำหลายๆแล้วก็ฝึกซ้อมแบบบ่หนักแล้วก็แบบม่วนซื่นจะเน้นที่ความม่วนซื่น
The poor condition of the football field further complicates the training. Nevertheless, the young coaches and the young players seem unaffected by it and just keep on playing.
In England, you wouldn't see the children wouldn't want to play on this kind of pitch. They would choose not to play, but in Laos, whatever the conditions, they want to play, they appreciate it, they want to learn, and the coaches are the same. They've given them everything they can on whichever surface they've been given.
Finally, Coach Andy calls an end to the game, as the temperature is just too high.
Okay, well done. Okay. The challenge yesterday was the thunderstorms and the lightning, and today's challenge was the heat. But you did a really good job with stopping the games frequently and allowing the kids to have water.
Despite the cancellation, the coaches are still very satisfied with their results and are looking forward to the next day, as there will be a very special challenge in store for the young coaches. Their next group of players are all either visually impaired or blind. The final day starts on the grounds of the Laotian Football Association. To start off, the past days are discussed and analyzed in detail. Andy praises the young coaches' interactions with the students. Their training structure was well prepared. They have been able to keep the students' attention and conduct the training in an enjoyable way. Now we move on to the next big challenge, a training session with blind players. In Laos, people with disabilities are often forgotten. 6.2 million people live in Laos, but there are no statistics on the number of blind or visually impaired. There are hardly any institutions that offer special therapy for blind or visually impaired children and adolescents. Blind people have few prospects for the future, as they remain hidden from society and marginalized. As all members of society should be equal and should have a place where they belong, regardless of how they look or what language they speak, FIM thought it would be important to try and help these individuals feel more included in their environment. First, we begin again with some orientation for the young coaches, considering the special circumstances. The coaches discuss with the young coaches what's important when training with blind students and how the training should be structured. Again, groups are being formed, in which the young coaches can take part in an exchange with the coaches in order to learn with and from one another.
The idea was to bring them all together in one big group, because this is quite a tough challenge. And from doing that, we've actually found out that 3 or 4 of them have worked with blind people before. And they stood straight up and started sharing ideas with the rest of the group. And that is that peer-to-peer learning we've been talking about all week.
Finally, the training session begins. A total of 7 blind players come for training. Due to the heat, the session is held indoors in the stadium of the Laotian Football Association. Special preparatory measures are being taken. They wrap plastic around the ball so the children can hear it. The children can only rely on their hearing, which is why the stadium needs to be totally quiet. Everything is so quiet, creating a very special kind of atmosphere. Only when a goal is shot does the noise level finally rise.
Es war vorgesehen, eine Ausbildungstendenz mit handicapierten Menschen. Im letzten November waren das geistig und zum Teil körperlich Behinderte. Und nun der große Challenge, es kommen 7 Blinde. Die jungen Coaches haben unter Leitung von Andy und Ellie sofort sich zusammengesetzt. Und was ich hier sehe, das überwältigt mich enorm.
With their coaches focusing intently on the game at hand, the blind students really give it their all.
คนปกติก็จะสอนให้เดียวเขาเจ้าจะเข้าใจโลดส่วนว่าคนพิการจะต้องใช้ความพยายามหลายเติมกว่าเก่าและก็มีหลากหลายวิธีในการสอนสำหรับคนพิการนะเจ้า
The day is a total success, and after the training, the players receive a souvenir from Chelsea.
Das mit dem Blindentraining heute war wirklich was ganz Besonderes, sowohl für uns im Coaching-Team als auch für die Young Coaches. Wenn man gesehen hat, wie happy die Blindenfußballer waren, das war Gänsehaut, das war wirklich super.
The Lao coaches, armed with their training by the FIM-Family, had to rise to the occasion once again. The last item on the agenda today, planning a tournament for 100 children. The young coaches first discuss how the games will be organized before then hitting the field. Waiting for them were 100 children, full of excitement for the upcoming tournament. The young coaches divide the children into teams and organize the gameplay, while also being responsible for keeping track of the time on the game clock and the game score. The children and the young coaches are very eager and motivated. After the game, there will be a big award ceremony.
Das Ergebnis des Gesamtprojektes ist sehr eindrucksvoll. Wir haben unsere Ziele vollumfänglich erreicht. Wir haben Laos einen Steilpass gespielt. Sie haben den Ball mit Bravour angenommen. Nun kann das Spiel weitergehen.